Well, hello everybody, and we're doing a really quick random video that we hope you like, and this is really about Spark 26, STI's UK conference, Spark 26 on the 19th of March 2026. And what we decided to do is speak to the couple of people who are going to join us on that day, especially some of the big names, including the guy that we're just about to meet. So yeah, we're going to meet our opening keynote speaker to give us a bit of a flavor of what to expect and maybe why you should come and join us as well on the 19th of March. And yeah, this is Mark, a professional rock musician, online piano coach and TEDx speaker, Dr. Mark Deeks. So hello, Mark, and it's a great chat, and it's great to meet you.
That was a great intro. I feel like I'm blushing slightly.
Blushing? Well, I didn't mention you're a Newcastle fan.
No, I'll wear that badge with pride.
That's good. And I know, funnily enough, I know a couple of guys just down the road who might not be as amazed, but we'll leave that. And I'm thinking about Gavin, one of our community members. I'm sure Gavin will be very disappointed, but hey, doesn't matter.
He's not red and white, is he?
He is red and white. He's a good lad, actually. He's a good lad. He's a good lad, and he's having a decent season. But let's leave the football there, I think. Yeah, but it's great to meet you. And just so, who are you? Your background? What have you been doing all your life?
Yeah, I mean, the thread is music, but it's come in a huge variety of different ways. So my original background is playing piano when I was 5 years old. I was teaching piano when I was 15, so I was going to the local houses and teaching other kids because I picked it up really quickly. It seemed to come really naturally to me. But fast forward through the years, that's become a career as a musician, which has manifested itself in being a college lecturer for 8 years, running a music department, running community choirs for 25 plus years. I've got my own community choir company, and a life as what I would call a working musician, a freelance musical director, performer, teacher, etc. But then the other side of my life has been a love of heavy metal. So since I was a teenager, rock and metal music has been my soundtrack of choice. And I'm in 2 signed metal bands these days in my now late 40s. Next week I'm on tour for a week around Europe with my band. And it's kind of a sort of traditional musician's career in reverse. It's only really the last sort of 10 or 12 years that I've really sort of, my bands have achieved, enough interest to play a few shows here and there. We don't play a lot. We don't sell millions of records, but we sell, a few thousand records here and there. And so we've got a little niche following. And it's cool to be able to appreciate it later in life, I think, because the thread of what I speak about most is what music gives us other than just being entertainment. I think it's the most underutilized well-being tool that we've got. And so when I speak now as a keynote speaker, the connection between music and mental health and music and well-being is the main thing that I speak about. And that's for much as me as a musician and a fan, as well as helping others to think about how they integrate music into their life.
And if you talk about heavy metal as a thing, and there are subgenres in that, what kind of metal are we talking about? Are we talking about Ozzy Osbourne, or are we talking about Status Quo? I don't know. Are they metal? I don't know.
I mean, Ozzy Osbourne was absolutely undoubtedly the Prince of Metal, or Prince of Darkness, as they used to call him. But I'm in a pretty niche, extreme area of metal. So Winter Filleth, my main band, is a black metal band. We've just recorded our 9th record. It's a 20th anniversary next year, and that'll be out next year in 2026. Actually, remarkably close to Spark 2026. There's an exclusive. So then my solo project is called Arth, which is an old Northumbrian word, which means my native land, and all the lyrics are about Northumbrian history, and that's doom metal, which is a different world again. So yeah, there are many, many, many subgenres of metal, most of which operate far, far away from the mainstream.
Wow, it's really interesting. And you mentioned, the impact on music on people and how they feel and stuff like that. So I'd like to just hear a little bit more about that, maybe just to give a little bit of a flavor. So what kind of stuff do you do on stage then, Mark? And this isn't, in maybe the music capacity, in that sort of speaking capacity. What kind of stuff are you going to be bringing to Spark 26?
Yeah, it's all about encouraging people to, as I said before, to think about how they interact with music. I think most people operate with music very much in a background role in their lives. Once upon a time, if you rewind 50 years, music tended to form a much more active central role in people's entertainment. So, families would gather around pianos and sing, or People would drop a needle on a vinyl record and then just listen to it. They wouldn't be doing 12 other things at the same time. Whereas now, with the advent of a lot of technology with regards to music, it's very easy for us to create playlists and put them on in the background while we do, every aspect of life. So my mission really is following a sort of my own lived experience and mental health journey to talk about how I've sort of learned to reflect on how music is a central part to my life, both as a job and a hobby, but to think about how I interact with music, and if I can help other people to take a more intentional interaction with music on a daily basis, that it can really positively affect all kinds of things in relation to mental health and well-being. So there's huge research out there to show that there are positive benefits to be had with regards to anxiety, depression, and so on, when people have musical interactions, either as a listener or as a creator. So, yeah, that's the kind of subjects that I talk about, and just some practical tips. I don't want people to walk away with pages of notes and to find them in the door pocket of their car 6 months later. We literally do it on the spot. So I bring my piano, I play loads of musical examples, and I try and talk to the crowd and get them to shout things out, and we get our phones out and create playlists and on the spot. I very much want this to be an interactive thing which we actually achieve something by the end of.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So audience participation is a big deal. But and I think, at sort of any conference, I think trying to get an audience together is the most important and sometimes the most difficult thing to do. So it sounds like if I was coming along to watch this, it sounds like I'm going to be engaged sort of from the start. And why would I come? What will I take away from your session, do you think?
I think the idea is just to make you reframe the relationship you have with music and how it connects us to other people around us, those closest to us. I talk about saying one of the most powerful things I can say to an audience is think of a song that reminds you of someone you love. And most people's faces change. Their facial expressions change when you say that to them, because they think of wives or partners or husbands or granddads or children, aunties, whatever it might be. And they immediately think of their parents or memories from their past. And you can see that means a lot to them immediately from their facial expressions. So memories and music become deeply entwined. And so my sessions and talks are usually about sort of pulling at those threads a little bit and getting people to really examine how that feels to them to think about. And then, what could be the ripple effect if you felt a little bit more positive or you felt a little bit less stressed because you're interacting with music? What could the ripple effect be for other areas of life, for your job, for your family, your kids, or whatever it might be?
Awesome. And is there anything, maybe just before we close, is there anything that you want to take away from this as part of the engagement with our community audience? Is there anything that you're going to want to take away?
The thing I enjoy most about this job is that I rarely speak to people who would think of themselves as a music audience. I speak to people in all different kinds of industries. So this week I've done a talk for some lawyers. Recently I did some accountants, doctors. It doesn't matter what the industry is. Everyone has a relationship with music, and that's why this can be a really quick win for people. A lot of well-being and mental health stuff, we have to explain what the concept is before we can start. Whereas I just talk about music for a living and get other people to think about their relationship with music. And so I just enjoy watching people's faces change, and it doesn't matter what the music is that you love. And, just because I'm in a black metal band and you might think that jazz is the best kind of music, it doesn't matter what the music is. I mean, I honestly think the world would be a better place if everyone listened to more Iron Maiden, but I realize that not everyone agrees with me, and that's fine. The idea is to challenge some of the stereotypes. The world often tells us that certain kinds of music are calming and relaxing, and certain kinds of music are aggressive or angry or uplifting. Well, what happens if you don't feel like that? We accept that everyone likes different kinds of food, but then we try and box everyone into the same boxes when it comes to being entertained or comforted or uplifted by music. So I'm the person who sort of pokes the finger at that a little bit and challenges some of these stereotypes.
Awesome. Well, I'm really looking forward to that now.
Thank you,
Mark. Thank you very much indeed for that. I'm hoping the listeners, found something that they can grasp onto and come and join us to watch that as well. The obvious question: if in a situation where you've got some music that's been released, are you going to be doing some signing stuff, or will we miss that sort of opportunity? Maybe.
If anyone wants me to sign in, they can. I mean, people sometimes bring vinyl and CDs along to things and sign them on my copy of my book or whatever. But yeah, we've got a new record coming out next March. I'm not entirely sure the exact date, but it'll be around then, for sure.
Good. Awesome. Well, excellent. It's lovely to chat. Look, I look forward to seeing you face to face in March.
Thank you.
And until then, listeners, please just have a little look at the website, have a little look what's on, have a little look at Mark's videos and stuff. I'm sure there's a load of stuff all over the internet. And we hope to see you in March 19th at Spark26 in Birmingham. Excellent. Thank you, Mark. See you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.